Welcome back. All right, if you're looking for a good book to read, our next guest can help. Rona Brindley, owner of the Neptune Beach Bookmark, joining us now. She's back with a few of her recommendations. All right, Rona, look, these are books that, most of the books I'm looking at right now are how to be a new dad, fatherhood for dummies, and husband coached, birthing and stuff like that. So I'm not really into this stuff. So what do you got for me?
You stay focused on that, but when you need a break, you'll get to these eventually, maybe a while, but you might need a break from that. I've got some great new books out. This is the it book of the moment, The Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer. It's getting reviewed everywhere. Great, fantastic reviews. She's getting interviewed. This is a smart and sassy book. It's very timely with all the talk about feminism. It's a young college girl who is, she says, she's curating her unhappiness, and she goes to hear a speaker who is really modeled after Gloria Steinem, and it changes her life, and she decides she wants to get involved. And it's the question of, is she going to change everything she wanted? She's madly in love. Is she going to redo her life and take on a different path? And how's that going to work out for her?
All right.
So, and also very colorful. You won't lose it anywhere in the house.
Right. Yeah.
Paris by the Book, I can't resist. Paris book, I mean, really, that's like the combination of perfection. It's about a woman whose husband disappears, and he leaves her and their daughters tickets to Paris. And they go and they find this bookstore, and they find his manuscript, which gives all kind of clues about what happened to him. She ends up buying the bookstore, and the three of them make a new life in Paris, and she's constantly in search of what happened to him. Am I better off thinking he left us, or that he's dead? And can I start a new life? So, but it's got all the perfect elements. Bookstore is in Paris.
I'm going to read the last page of that one before you go. What else you got?
Don't tell me. This is a more serious, ponderous kind of book. Some Searching for Stars on an Island in Maine by Alan Lightman. He's one of my favorites. I always call him my poet physicist. He had a joint appointment at MIT in Humanities and Physics, which is an amazing combination.
He's a thinker.
He's a thinker. So when we look at the stars, we say, oh, is it a clear night? He looks at the stars, he says it gets lost in infinity. So this is the question of where we fit and where science fits in the greater universe and how all that comes together. So it's not the kind of book you sit down and go, gee, I think I'll read this tonight. You kind of read a little bit and savor it and ponder it and do something else for a while and then come back to it. And it sort of messes with your mind in a great way that's just too much fun.
Nonfiction?
Nonfiction. Nonfiction.
Flat Earthers. You might want to read that one.
Give you something to think about. I didn't know they were still out there. Okay.
Apparently they are.
So this starts all of our amazing events that are coming up. So we have Jeffrey Deaver. He's never been before. He's a #1 internationally best-selling author. Mystery, The Cutting Edge. You just talked about diamonds. This is about murders at a diamond store in Midtown Manhattan. But what they find out is he's not trying to steal the diamonds. He's killing the couples that are buying the diamonds at that most exciting point in their life. They've just picked out a dress and they've got a wedding coming up and they're buying a diamond, and he kills the couples. And so they don't know.
He hates relationships.
Well, see, you don't have to read anything. Stick with fatherhood, because you got this one not. I don't know. But he leaves behind a diamond cutter as a witness, and so the question is, who can get to him first, the good guys or the bad guys?
All right.
Right. Okay. So you'll know the answer.
Or is a ring purchase gone bad? I don't know.
It's a ring purchase have gone terribly wrong.
Terribly
Absolutely. David Baldacci is returning. The Fallen is part of his Memory Man series. It's an interesting character who's had a football injury, and instead of having, loss of things, he has this really honed-in memory where he can't forget anything, and it works out really well for him as a detective, except murders are starting to happen closer to his hometown, and that's just not enough. And the thing that's great about him is he has a Wished You Well Foundation where we collect books. When he goes on tour, we'll collect books new and gently used for all ages, and he'll donate them to a local food bank to promote literacy. So people are very generous, and it's great.
Got a few, and all these authors are coming.
Maggie Fitzroy, a local journalist. This is a historical romance, 1845. A woman's heading across the country to marry some man she doesn't know and get a family, and she falls in love with the guy driving the wagon train.
Nice.
Gilbert King has won the Pulitzer for Devil in the Grove. This is nonfiction, Beneath a Ruthless Sun. It's race relations in Florida in the 1950s. A black young man gets charged with raping the wife of a citrus baron, and they throw him in a mental institution without a trial. That's true, unfortunately.
All part of our history. Need to read it.
This is also true about a murder, more recent murder, Love and Death in the Sunshine State in Anna Maria Island. Part memoir, part history about a motel and a woman who disappears, and was it her husband, was it her lover? I mean, who did this murder and what happened to her body?
All right, and finally?
Finally, that will be hardback, Send Down the Rain. Charles Martin, he's a Jacksonville author who just had a movie come out, and this is the story of hope and redemption of a woman who's lost her husband and her restaurant, and re-meets a man she knew long ago, and they have a big secret. We don't know what's going to happen.
All
but
great.
You know what's going to happen.
I'll figure it out. I always read the last page first, and you can get more information on Rona and the Bookmark by either visiting her in Neptune Beach at the store. The address is 221st Street, or by heading to her website, which is bookmarkbeach.com.